Hey everybody, welcome to another deep dive. Today we're heading out to explore Lake Carlos State Park in Minnesota.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and we've got some cool resources to help us paint a picture of this place. We've got a YouTube video tour from Drive North and a Wikipedia entry too.
Yeah, combining a first-person perspective with a more kind of encyclopedia overview.
Exactly. So by the end of this, you'll know if Lake Carlos should be added to your adventure list.
Definitely.
So first off, where even is Lake Carlos State Park? How do we get there?
So picture yourself driving through, the beautiful state of Minnesota.
Okay.
About 10 miles north of Alexandria. That's where you'll find it. Highway 29 takes you straight there. And if you're coming from Minneapolis, say, like the Twin Cities area, it's about a 2-hour drive north and west.
Okay, so accessible for like a weekend getaway,
Mhm.
far enough away to feel like an escape.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I'm curious about the layout of this state park. What's it like when you get there?
Well, they've got it divided into an upper and a lower campground,
Yep.
each with kind of a different vibe. So like the lower campground, that's the spot to be if you want to be, near the action.
Okay.
It's close to the lake, and it's got those electric hookups, for those, like a little bit more comfort.
I like my comforts.
Yeah.
What about the upper campground?
So the upper campground is a little more secluded,
Okay.
peaceful. You'll find electric and non-electric sites up there, and some of those non-electric sites are actually huge, really private. Like you can have your own little haven in the woods.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Are there other lodging options aside from like tent and RV camping?
Yeah, definitely. If you're not into the whole, tent or RV thing, they've got camper cabins for rent in the upper campground.
Okay.
And if you're the kind of person who likes to go camping with a big group of people, they've got designated group camping areas too.
Awesome. So it really accommodates a variety of campers.
It does.
Now what about amenities like bathrooms, showers, that kind of thing?
Both campgrounds have restrooms and hot showers. Gotta have those. And they've got a centrally located dump station and freshwater fill-up.
Oh yeah.
For the RVs.
Perfect. So we've got the logistics down. Now let's talk about the fun stuff.
Yes.
The activities. What can you do at Lake Carlos State Park?
Get ready for an adventure buffet.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
There's something for everyone. If you're into hiking, there are trails for all levels.
Okay.
You've got the Hidden Lake Trail, which is
Yeah.
nice and easy. It's only 1.5 miles. You could stroll that in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Beautiful views, tranquil waters,
I bet.
surrounded by lush greenery.
I love it.
Then you've got the Prairie Pothole Trail. That one's a little bit more of a challenge.
Okay.
And that's great for bird watchers.
Ooh.
Lots of different species. And then for the really adventurous types, you've got the Lakeview Loop, which is almost 4 miles. It takes you through rolling hills and shaded forests.
Wow.
You get glimpses of the lake. It's really quite something.
I mean, the lake is obviously a big draw. What kind of water activities could you do there?
Well, swimming, of course.
Obviously.
On a nice warm summer day.
Yeah.
Then if you're into fishing, Lake Carlos is known for its walleye and northern pike. So you can, cast a line, maybe catch dinner.
That would be amazing. What if I'm not like a hardcore fisher person?
Then rent a kayak or canoe. Just, leisurely paddle around the lake, take in the scenery. It's beautiful.
What about wintertime? I know some state parks have some cool winter activities too.
Oh, yeah, they've got some great winter options. When the snow falls, you can go cross-country skiing
Nice.
or snowshoeing. The trails are just beautiful, covered in snow.
I bet. So it truly is a 4-season destination then.
It is.
Okay, now beyond the activities, what about the history and like natural beauty?
Okay, well, to understand the landscape, you kind of have to go back in time to the last ice age.
Okay.
Lake Carlos sits on what's called the glacial ridge. So basically, it was carved out by massive glaciers thousands of years ago. Yeah. So the landscape you see today, those rolling hills, the potholes, it's all thanks to those glaciers.
It makes you appreciate the power of nature.
It really does. And then the lake itself was named after the friend of an early settler.
Oh.
Isn't that sweet?
I love that.
And the park itself was established in 1937.
Okay.
And it was part of the Civilian Conservation Corps legacy, the CCC.
Oh, wow, the CCC. Yeah.
A lot of the original CCC structures are still standing today.
That's amazing.
Like the log buildings, you can practically feel the history when you walk by them.
Yeah, for sure. So the Drive North video had some really practical tips for visiting Lake Carlos. What are some things that we should know before going?
First things first, bug spray.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Lots of mosquitoes.
It's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bug spray is a must. He also really recommended bringing kayaks because you can launch them right from your campsite.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah, so you can wake up, hop in your kayak, and you're on the lake.
That's so convenient.
It is. For food, he recommended checking out the local meat shocks in nearby towns. Like Melrose.
Yeah.
They have amazing brats, burgers, beef sticks, all that good stuff. Support local businesses. And he also recommended getting windscreens for a portable gazebo.
No.
If you're using one, just for a little extra wind protection.
That's smart.
And privacy, too. And lastly, bring a freshwater jug to fill up at the water spigots, just to extend your water supply.
Oh, that's a good tip. I never think about that. Especially if you're not at a site with a direct water hookup.
Exactly.
Now, one thing that I thought was really cool about Lake Carlos and that the video highlighted was how they handle boats.
Yes.
It's different from any other lake state parks that I've seen.
It is. Instead of having like a typical boat launch with limited dock space, the entire lake is surrounded by open space with designated posts for boat tie-up.
So you can basically park your boat right next to your campsite.
Pretty much, yeah. You can keep your boat tied up your entire stay, which means you have super easy access to it.
That's brilliant.
Isn't it?
So Lake Carlos, it's easy to get to. It's got a variety of campsites, lodging options, tons of activities. It's beautiful, it's historical, and it's got these really cool, unique features like that boat tie-up situation. It seems like the perfect outdoor adventure spot.
It does. It really does. But you know what I find really interesting is how they manage the historical significance of the park
Yeah.
with those CCC structures and them also balancing that with the needs of modern visitors. Like, how do you keep that history alive while still making it a place that people want to visit today?
That's a great question. Like, how do we preserve the past but also make it relevant and, enjoyable for people today?
Right.
It makes you think.
It does.
Like, how do we make those historical elements come alive for people?
Right. Like you're walking through the park and you see one of those beautiful log buildings.
Yeah.
And there's a sign that tells you about the CCC workers who built it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what were their lives like? What tools did they use? How did their work impact the park?
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
You're not just looking at a building anymore. You're seeing the history.
Exactly. And it could go beyond just signs,
Okay.
What if they had interactive exhibits where you could try using some of the tools they used?
Oh, wow.
Or see photos and hear recordings from that time?
I love that. That would be so immersive.
Yeah. And guided tours, too,
Ooh, yeah.
led by park rangers who could share stories about the CCC.
That'd be awesome.
Point out little details that you might miss on your own.
It's all about the storytelling.
Yeah. Like bringing those stories to life for people.
And you could even, get oral histories from people who worked in the CCC
Oh, yeah.
or who visited Lake Carlos back in the day.
Imagine hearing those firsthand accounts.
That would be incredible. It would
Ooh.
make it so real.
So for you listening, what parts of Lake Carlos State Park stand out to you? What are you curious about?
What I love is how we've explored this park from so many different angles. We talked about planning a trip, the history, the unique features, and even the bigger picture of preservation.
Right? It's like we've peeled back all the layers.
And for me, what stands out is that balance between tranquility and adventure.
Yeah.
Like, you can find those quiet moments surrounded by nature, but you can also go on hikes and kayak and fish and all that fun stuff.
And that's what makes state parks like this so special. There's truly something for everyone.
I'm honestly feeling inspired to visit Lake Carlos now.
Me too.
Oh.
If you do decide to go, I highly recommend checking out their website.
Okay, good tip.
They have tons of information on trails, facilities, events.
Awesome. And don't forget to stop by the gift shop,
No, yeah.
grab a souvenir or a guidebook, maybe a vintage CCC poster.
You know, it's funny, we've talked so much about Lake Carlos, but we've really only scratched the surface.
Yeah, there's always more to discover.
So to our listeners, if Lake Carlos State Park sounds intriguing to you, make it your next adventure.
Yes, go beyond the maps and videos and see it for yourself.
Experience the history, wander the trails, enjoy the fresh air.
Who knows what you might find?
And when you do share your story, tell people about your experience.
Yeah, keep that legacy alive.
Exactly. Because that's what makes these places special, our shared experiences and the stories we tell.
Beautifully said. And that's what I love about exploring these places. We can do all the research, watch all the videos,
Right.
but nothing compares to actually being there.
Absolutely.
Like setting foot on the trail, smelling the fresh air, paddling across the lake.
It's a whole different experience.
And then Lake Carlos becomes more than just a place you heard about.
Yeah.
It becomes part of your story.
And you know, it's cool. You might discover something new.
Oh, yeah,
Something that wasn't in the video or the Wikipedia article.
totally.
Maybe you'll find a hidden trail or a perfect spot for birdwatching.
Ooh. Or like a cool rock formation?
Exactly. Or even like a piece of history.
Oh, yeah.
Like an old CCC tool or something.
That would be amazing.
It's the thrill of exploration, right?
Yeah.
Finding something unexpected.
Totally. And then when you share your experience,
Yes.
you become part of the story of Lake Carlos.
Right. You add to its legacy.
And inspire other people to go explore it.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's remember that adventure is out there.
It is
Waiting for us.
just waiting for us to discover it.
So go explore. Find those wild spaces.
Yes. Whether it's Lake Carlos or somewhere else.
Get out there and make some memories.
Speed trails, everyone.